So you want to know how to really advertise on TikTok? Well, you've come to the right place. We are going to walk through the official roadmap, step by step, to help you turn your brand into a legit success story on, let's be honest, one of the most powerful platforms in the world.
And look, the opportunity here is just massive. Seriously, forget what you might think you know. TikTok is so much more than viral dances. It's this full-screen, sound-on world where you can make genuine connections with a community that's super engaged and actually wants to listen.
Right. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It can feel a little overwhelming, I get it, but it really doesn't have to be. We're going to walk through the entire journey, from setting up your account all the way to seeing your results. So let's start at the very beginning.
First things first, you need a solid foundation. Before you can even think about running an ad, you've got to set up your professional home base on the platform. And you really can't skip this part.
And that foundation? It starts with a TikTok business account. This is not just a regular profile. Think of it as your brand's command center. It unlocks all these tools and analytics that you're going to need to actually see your brand grow and succeed.
The difference is pretty simple, but it's absolutely crucial. A personal account is for, you. A business account is for your brand. Switching to business just unlocks this whole new world of data. We're talking performance metrics, deep dives into who your audience is, and a ton of creative tools that personal accounts just don't get.
And if you're serious about scaling up, you're going to want to get familiar with the Business Center. Think of it as your mission control. It's where you can work with your team or an agency, manage all your ad accounts and audiences in one spot, and keep track of who's doing what. It just keeps everything organized and professional.
Okay, so our foundation is set. Now we get to move on to the fun part, the creative. This is where you actually get to connect with people. Because on TikTok, the right creative isn't just important. It's everything.
This really gets to the heart of it all. You have to make TikToks, not ads. The goal is to create stuff that just feels like it belongs on the For You page. And the data doesn't lie. A whopping 74% of viewers find these TikTok first ads way more captivating. The trick isn't to interrupt what they're watching, it's to become a part of it.
You know, every great TikTok ad follows this super simple structure. You've got to hook them right away, like in the first 2 or 3 seconds, then deliver your message clearly. And finally, and you absolutely cannot forget this, have a strong call to action that tells people exactly what you want them to do next.
Now, let me tell you about one of the most powerful tools you have, the Spark ad. This thing is pure genius. It lets you take a regular, organic TikTok that's already doing well, it could be yours or a creator's, and put some ad money behind it. It's the perfect mix of authentic content and massive targeted reach.
And the benefits are huge. Because you're using real content, it just feels more authentic, you know? It also unlocks cool features like Duet and Stitch. And get this, all the likes, comments, and shares stay on the original video, which builds up tons of social proof. Plus, it's the perfect way to team up with creators and get in front of their communities.
So you've got your creative vision, but before you hit that launch button, you gotta play by the rules. Let's talk about ad policy, because if you get this wrong, your amazing campaign might never even see the light of day.
TikTok really wants to keep the platform a safe and respectful place, and that definitely includes its ads. Every single ad goes through a review based on these policies, so understanding them isn't just a good idea, it's a must-do for a smooth launch. All right, so you really want to avoid these common mistakes. First, don't make crazy, exaggerated claims you can't back up. Second, make sure your video and audio are good quality. Nobody wants to watch a blurry, muffled ad. Third, your landing page has to match what you promised in the ad. And finally, and I'm begging you on this one, make sure your website actually works on a phone and doesn't lead to an error page. These simple checks will save you so many headaches.
So after you hit submit, your ad goes into a 2-step review. First, there's a quick check to make sure your industry is even allowed to advertise. Then comes a much more detailed policy check. Only after it passes both of those steps will your ad actually go live.
Okay, you've got your account, you've got your creative, you know the rules. It is time to launch. This is where we get into the nuts and bolts of actually setting up and managing your campaign inside the Ads Manager. The TikTok Ads Manager is going to be your new best friend. This is the platform where you'll build your entire campaign, manage it while it's running, and, like we'll talk about in a bit, analyze all of the data to see how it's doing.
Understanding this structure is so key. At the very top, you have the campaign level. That's where you set your main goal, like what are you trying to do? Then inside that, you have ad groups, where you decide who you're targeting and how much you'll spend.
And then finally at the bottom is the ad level, where you put your actual videos and captions.
Now let's talk bidding. You've basically got two main choices. Maximum delivery is all about getting the most bang for your buck. It tells the system to spend your full budget to get as many results as possible. Cost cap, on the other hand, is about being efficient. It tries to keep your average cost for each result at or below a price that you set. Okay, once your campaign goes live, it enters this super important learning phase. This is where TikTok's algorithm is basically doing its homework, testing your ad to find the people who are most likely to respond. This period is essential for your long-term success, so honestly, your #1 job is just to be patient.
And this is so important. Let the system learn. You have to avoid making big changes during this phase. Don't pause the campaign, don't slash your budget, don't mess with your targeting. Fiddling with it too much will just reset the whole process and stop your campaign from hitting its full potential.
So your campaign is out there, the system has done its learning, and now it's the moment of truth. Let's talk about measuring your impact. How do you actually know if all this hard work paid off?
See, it's not enough to just get a bunch of views and clicks. The final stage of this journey is about understanding the true impact of your ads. This is where you go beyond the basic stuff and start answering the big strategic questions for your business.
And TikTok gives you some really powerful tools for this. You want to know if your ad is actually making people remember your brand? That's what a brand lift study is for. Need to prove how many sales happened only because people saw your ad? A conversion lift study can show you that. And if you want the big picture on where TikTok fits in your whole marketing plan, that's where things like media mix modeling come in. Each tool answers a different, really important business question.
So there you have it. That's the complete advertiser's journey, from setting up your account all the way to proving your campaign's worth. We've gone through the foundation, the creative, the rules, the launch, and the results. You've got the roadmap. The only question left is, what's your first campaign going to be?